Hello and welcome. This is Rooflemonger. My friends, the big 2XKO cinematic opening has been posted. If you're unaware, we're sort of on 2XKO Eve right now, as tomorrow, October the 7th, the game will launch in early access, which means it's effectively fully out now, at least on PC. Still not out yet on console, which is a little problematic to me, but it should be on console before the end of the year anyways. Now, the thing about this big cinematic trailer, which is beautiful, it's amazing, go check out the full thing on YouTube, is it shows a new playable character. You've known about Ari, Echo, Yasuo forever now, right? But you might not have known about Warwick. That's League of Legends resident werewolf, and this is classic Warwick. This isn't the arcane version, although I'm sure there'll be an arcane skin you could pay a good amount of money for. Now, you might say, wait a second, Roofmonger, didn't Warwick leak already? Didn't we already know about him and literally have seen him in-game? And shut up. Trying to get us in trouble? And to be fair, to be realistic, I don't know how much of an actual leak this is, leak in air quotes, because I don't know the inner designs of their marketing team, but the last three characters have leaked now. Blitz, Teemo, and now Warwick, and at a certain point, I think it's intentional to build hype. Maybe that's a little conspiratorial of me, but that's just sort of where my mind is at right now. Because it worked, and hey, people are excited. But now back to the cinematic. The reason I want to talk about this in particular is because there's a very noticeable trait about Warwick in this. In that he is effing gigantic compared to the other characters. Maybe there's some trailer magic at play at some certain shots here, but like even just going by the trailer, he has to be bigger than Braum. And hey, me personally, that makes me very excited. I'm well known for my bias in fighting games in that I prefer the big characters. Doesn't matter if they're good or bad. If the character's big, I usually play them. That's my personal sickness. But the problem is here in the fighting game community, when it comes to big characters in trailers, we've been here before. You may recall the Facom Ram incident. So Facom Ram debuts in Tekken 7. He had his own just unique trailer to go with it. And they put him up against Craig Marduk. And Craig is one of the biggest characters in Tekken. And when you want your new big character to be, well, a big deal, you put him up against another big character. In the wise words of a poet.
Big meaty man slapping meat. That's what I want.
People want to see the big guys going at it. Big, meaty men slapping meat. And then we see Facom Ram, and he makes his debut here against Marduk, who is gigantic. And Facom Ram just towers over him, in Marduk's own words.
That's big.
So he's like 10 feet tall or some nonsense, right? And then the trailer begins, and he's shorter than Craig Marduk. He's actually smaller than him. You just showed side by side, he's like 2 feet taller than Craig is. And now in the actual game, he's little compared to Marduk. And the trailer magic was even there right at the start. That initial shot where he's up against Marduk and he's like a million feet taller than him, that's some like Lord of the Rings perspective magic because he's actually floating off the ground just to make up for the height difference. This whole trailer, it makes me mad every time I remember it because I was so excited and went from so excited to profound disappointment in seconds. Like, I'm basically a literal child here. I just want to see big guys fight. Probably some sort of side symptom of growing up on 80s wrestling, I'm sure. And then again, we have Warwick in the trailer. Warwick is gigantic. And at this point, this is where I should state here, no, unlike a bunch of the other characters we've recently talked about in recent months, I did not play Warwick 2 years ago. This is actually all new to me. I do not have any advanced knowledge about this character. It's actually similar to Braum. When we had that trip here and we learned a lot about upcoming characters for some time to come, Braum was not part of that. He was also all new to me too when he was announced. So I'm effectively in the dark. I can only go by what's in the trailer. And at least by the trailer, he is consistently being portrayed as like 2 to 3 times larger than Echo or Ari, which again, in the game are not anywhere near the largest characters. You know, they're definitely not the size of even like Darius or something like that, but he's definitely portrayed as a very big boy and would at least be at minimum equal size to Braum, if not larger, going by the trailer. But is this trailer magic? Because a lot of shots with perspective added make him look really effing big. You know, there's been some complaints, you know, is there too many big body characters in 2XKO? We got that right before Teemo was announced. And Teemo was like the rat character to end all rat characters. So his small size definitely makes up for any amount of big body characters in my books anyways. But since Warwick is seemingly, anyways, we don't know for sure, but seemingly the next character after Teemo, are we going from potential extremes from smallest character in the game to the biggest? I guess only time will tell, but I'm very interested in it. And of course, there's the other, I don't want to call it an issue because it's too strong of a term, but he's a werewolf in a fighting game. And fighting game werewolf is an archetype. Like, I know that sounds weird, but it's true. If you know the words, sing along with me. If you're a fighting game werewolf, you do beast canon. That's just sort of how it is. I didn't make the rules. Or failing that, some sort of saber wolf tribute. Yes, I know Warwick is his own person with his own established moves, but 2XKO is very heavy on the fighting game references. Characters like Yasuo wouldn't exist if it weren't for other fighting games, let's put it like that. They've proven very adept at mixing the League of Legends flavor of a character with traditional fighting game concepts that already exist. I expect much the same for Warwick. That said, actually, some moves would be very interesting if they could get it to work in the fighting game sense, like him having an advantage against people who have lower health. A big body character with a speed buff? That'd actually be very interesting to see. And him going crazy, slashing the crap out of people, hey, that's basically a given. So yeah, we have a little bit of a peek of how he will look like with various skins in 2XKO, but when it just comes to size, this doesn't give much of a frame of reference, honestly. Like, he looks cool, I dig the look, I dig the costumes, I dig the aesthetic, I dig what they're going for, but doesn't really tell me if the trailer is misleading or not. Like, Alawi's bigger than most of the cast too, right? But you don't really get that from her just a little intro splash. So basically, I guess we gotta wait for the trailer. So again, if you want to watch that full intro, go check it out on the 2XKO YouTube channel here. It's really cool. It's really well done. Makes me wonder what Yasuo did to have Echo and Ahri just kind of team up to beat the crap out of him. And as for Warwick, I'm very excited to see what they're going to do with him, right? Teemo, he looks cool. All the League characters translate well to fighting games, as we've since learned in 2XKO. And so Warwick's just going to be interesting. It's just, for me, I'm very particular about big characters, and the trailer just makes them look extra big. And as a longtime fighting game fan, I've been hurt before, as we talked about with the Facom Ram trailer stuff. We'll see where it goes. EVO France is this weekend. 2XKO is going to have a fairly large presence there, so maybe we'll get another announcement or two, who knows? Even if it's not 2XKO, I expect a fighting gamer announcement or two at EVO France this year. But yeah, so that's just me kind of spitting here, just wondering what's going on with this Warwick guy here in this trailer. And I would love to know what your thoughts on the matter are as well. So please post in the comments below. But otherwise, hey, that's it for the video. And 2XKO Early Access begins tomorrow. So expect a good amount of coverage on the channel with a bunch of 2XKO flavored content. That all said though, that's it for the video. So thank you very much for watching. Hope this video has found you well, and go out and play some 2XKO.